Okay, good afternoon. Sorry for the slight delay. I was getting quite carried away by that music. Normally, it's a lot of old rubbish, isn't it? But today was quite catchy. Got myself tapping away to that one. Good afternoon, all. Hopefully, you're well. Hopefully, you're having a good Friday. Hopefully, you've had a good week. Not been much going on this week. Well, I'll say not much. Stock market's hitting all-time highs, and dollars having a bit of a bounce. But yeah, it's been a reasonably long week, I think, because there's not been much out, really. I don't think much has come out and hit the wires, just all waiting for today's numbers. Okay, so hopefully I'm coming through okay. Looks as though everything is in the green. If you can confirm that you're hearing me okay. Yeah, everything's in the green. Everything should be coming okay. Who do we have in the house today? Let me just turn that down for a sec. Squawk. Pip Porray. What is going on? I got my prop account set up. Is this the one you won last week? Was this the one you won on last CPI or last numbers out? How can you be down 1% in the week? Well, how much are you risking per trade on that account? How many trades have you had? Give us some more details, Pip Hooray. I'd like to know what you're doing. Are you scalping? Are you swing trading? How many trades have you had? And what's the risk per trade that you're taking? Share with us all so we can learn from what you're up to. Okay, so Nelson, hello to you. You can't just say yes, Pip, because I asked lots of questions there. Oh, you can hear me loud and clear. That's what you're asking. Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to Paul Joseph's in the house. Simmer Hill is here as well. So good to see you in the house. As always, if you're new to the stream here, we do get new people coming in every week. If you are new to the stream and you haven't engaged with the community here before, now is your chance. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know the level of experience you are at as well. These sort of midweek streams where I sort of talk about the news event that's basically imminent. It's I try to explain the reasons behind the move, behind the number, what it's sort of likely to mean, and what the impact is likely to be on the markets. So I don't want to go too high in my sort of in my education content. I want to make sure I pitch it at the right level. So let me know the level of experience you are at, and where, of course, you are tuning in from. And I say, if you are new to the stream, let me tell you how it works. I'll be streaming now for the next 35-40 minutes or so. At the bottom of the hour, which is about 26 minutes from now, we have a data release, which is called the non-farm payroll. Now, and what I do over this stream is I explain a little bit about non-farm payroll, what it means and what it's likely to show us. And also, I'll have a trivia quiz giveaway as well. So for the next 10 minutes or so, I will talk a little bit about non-farm, and then I'm going to put up 3 questions, and the winners will be selected at random of anyone that gets all 3 correct answers. If no one gets all 3 correct answers, then we'll randomize those that got 2 of the correct answers, and so forth. But hopefully, if you listen to what I'm going to be saying over the next 10 minutes, hopefully you'll all qualify to be in the random draw. Okay, so there we have it. We're giving away a $12,500 account in our experienced trader program. So there you have it. Your chance to win a free account. But you've got to listen to what I'm talking about, of course. So this is non-farm payroll. It is deemed to be the most important news release of the calendar month. Basically, non-farm payroll, for those that don't know, is basically the job numbers. It's basically employment, the labor market, call it what you wish. It basically tells us how many new jobs have been created in the US. And the Fed like to look at this number in particular because it tells them the state of the economy. If more people are being employed, it basically means that the economy is looking healthy. And if more people are being employed, then of course they spend more money. And if they spend more money, up goes inflation. And the Fed, who basically move interest rates up or down, have a mandate to get employment down to capacity. So basically maximize full employment. They also have a second mandate to get inflation to around 2%. So the Fed do have a bit of an issue going on at the moment. So the non-farm payroll is basically the job numbers last month. And the reason why I think this one's important, we had PCE out in the week, which is basically inflation. Last week we had that. But the reason why this is important is we know that there's been a slowdown in the jobs markets, and that basically means there's more less jobs being created and less people are joining the workforce. And of course, the Fed want more people to join the workforce, and the Fed, in order to do that, normally would cut interest rates. So if the numbers are looking sort of soft, job numbers are not looking good, then of course, the Fed may be more inclined to cut their interest rates to spur on the economy. Okay, so the headline number will come out. I'll talk about that in a second. I do have to put this up on the screen. Sorry about this. But this is basically the disclaimer that you've seen each and every week. This is meant for entertainment, education purposes. Do not trade any of the suggestions that I give you on this stream. That'd be madness. As you know, trading is not all about the one trade, the one call. Trading is about what you do over the long haul, how you exploit your edge over the large number of trades, law of large numbers, as I call it. I don't think that makes a difference, does it? Angela Rayner is gone. Doesn't think it makes a difference for the pound, quite frankly. I looked at it, didn't really move the pound at all, did it? Really? JB, good to see you here. You're new. Well done for joining in. Share it with your friends. JB, where are you from? If you may share with us. So that's the disclaimer. So let's just get on about the non-farm payroll. So this month it is quite an important number, because if you looked at last month, there was a big, the last month came in, as you can see here on the screen, at 73,000. But the big market mover last month, and it really shocked everyone. If you were joining me on the stream, it certainly shocked me. And I got it totally wrong, but there's a big revision last month. It cut, I think it was 100. So this is the June number, sort of a cut from about 145,000 or something all the way down to 14,000. And that big revision is what really moved the market. So it's not just the headline number that we have to pay attention to; it's the revisions of the previous number as well. And that, if you remember, inspired Trump to sack the head of the Labour or the department that issues these numbers. So he basically sacked those. So we are expecting markets to come in at around 75,000. So that's 75,000 new jobs created in the economy. Okay, and we are so basically that means if the number comes in lower than expected, that means there's less people joining the workforce, less jobs are created. That could inspire the Fed to cut interest rates. Now, the markets are already pricing in a 25 basis point cut in interest rates. There are some analysts out there that are calling for a bigger cut than 25 basis points. A super duper 50 basis point cut has been called by some economists. I think that's incredibly unlikely. I just don't think that's going to happen. I'm not an economist, but I do have a sort of a basic understanding of economics. I think with the tariffs that are going on at the moment and going through the courts, Supreme Court and all that, do they want to start making that really bold move on the back of 1 month's data, when we don't really know the full impact of the numbers of the tariffs. So although they're going for 50 basis point cut, I think they're more likely to stick with what the expectations are showing, and that's basically a 25% basis point cut. And numbers at 75,000 or below would obviously pretty much cement that. As I say, it's 90% chance at the moment. It comes in lower than that. But keep an eye out of the revisions. Of course, I'll be here talking you through it as it comes out. Adan expects 65 and 79. I'll tell you what I expect in a minute. Average earnings, that's normally one of the most important ones because it's the inflation number as well. So are we seeing, although the job numbers have been coming down, big revisions, as I mentioned, job numbers are coming down, but the average earnings are still growing pretty much month on month at around 0.3%, which is not too bad. It's not too inflationary, is it? And unemployment is expected to tick up a bit in line with the fact that less jobs are being taken up, less people are taking on in the workforce. So what can we expect? Well, I personally, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the range, there's quite a big range of what the analysts are expecting. I've been calling this wrong for the last few months in terms of my guess, and it really is like chucking the darts at the dartboard. My guess is that it's going to come in higher than expected this time. I wouldn't be surprised to see this come in with all those revisions, really, really big, strong revisions that you saw over June and May. I wouldn't be surprised to see, and there's no other basis behind this, that the job numbers come in above 100,000. Personally, above 100,000, it won't derail the interest rate cutting cycle, which is due to start, I think, on the 17th of September. But it will be maybe seeing as dollar supportive. Dollar's actually being quite well supported in this last week. I tell you what, I have actually covered the topics in the quiz trivia in that little soliloquy. You're going for a big number as well. Yeah, I'm going for a big number. Pin the market, I'm expecting numbers like 104. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that above 100. That means we're all going for above number. Yeah, we're all going for numbers above. US dollar is so weak at the moment. US dollar is weak. US dollar is weak. But it's actually been strong this week, hasn't it? Although we've had a bit of a pullback today. Okay, so let's just get into this quiz then. So you can think about these before the announcement at the bottom of the hour. And then after the announcements, we'll get on and spend a little bit more time on the charts. Stocks are looking strong. Gold's looking strong. We got the gold expiring in about 4 hours' time, 5 hours' time. We spoke about that on Monday, didn't we? And there's going to be quite a few people in contention for that, I think, this week. So we'll see. Okay, here's the questions. 12,500 assessment giveaway. Okay, so I'll just run through the questions, and then I'll put up the Google form. Put your answers in there. Put your emails in there as well. And you don't have to be rapid. It's not fastest fingers first. I'll put all the winners into. I don't. There's a person behind the scenes that puts them into a random generator on the numbers, and will generate the winner. So the first question. Let me just turn that down. So the first question, when is the non-farm payroll typically released? Okay, so when are we, we see this every month, yeah? So when is it typically released? And for this one, I want the time as well. I want the time in New York. So that's Eastern Standard Time. Well, I think we know what that is if you can work out the clock, because it's in 15 minutes time. So maybe, but if you get that in, when is it released? Next question. The June non-farm payrolls had a huge revision down from 147,000. I actually think I said 100. Lewis, don't answer the questions in here, please. You're disqualified. Let's have a look. Yeah, anyone that puts the questions, answers in here, is not going to qualify. Okay. So the questions should be answered on the Google form that I'm going to put in at the moment. Yeah, you have to try and listen up. June NFP shoe divisions down 147 to what number? And the third question: if NFP comes in below 75,000, what the markets are expecting, we could expect to see a 25 basis point interest rate rise. That is a true or false question. True or false? So there it is. If NFP, on-farm payroll, comes in below 75,000, we could expect to see a 25 basis point, 25% rise in interest rates. Okay, so there is the questions. I'll just put in the form now. So get your question, get your answers in, and we'll see who it was. It's amazing. I say this every week, and people still just don't listen. There we go. Yeah, I know, Adnan. It's amazing, isn't it? People just don't want to listen. Disqualified. There you go. All right, there's the form. Get it in, get your answers in there, and I will look at those in a moment. Oh, we got another idiot there, look, shouting out false. So there we are. Okay, right. These are the questions. Let's have a quick look then at the markets, see what is going on. Hang on a sec. Can I just try something here for a moment? Just bear with me a sec. No. Okay. Right. So those are your questions. Let's have a quick look at what is going on in the markets. I mentioned gold to you. Okay, gold has been on an absolute tear this week. Okay, we had, if you watch the stream on Monday, where we have our Guess the Gold competition, we have where we put in our roadblock resistances and supports and so forth. We had gold a major roadblock resistance in and around 3,500. Okay, what we did do on, I think it was on where was it? That was on Tuesday. We shot through. This is the 4-hour chart. For those of you that follow my strategies that we talk about in our Pop IQ masterclass and so forth, if you follow the strategies, you will see a boomerang trend continuation trade. Well, that has pretty much called it to the T. Okay, so you break through that zone, hits a new high, pulls back. He pulls back with his big wick candle. That is a perfect entry in that zone for a boomerang entry trend continuation. So your stops are going to be below the swing low that led to the new swing high. And that's exactly where it pulled back from, the previous high that this Marubozu candle broke through. This is really breaking through. Remember, this is almost like a safe haven play. The dollar has been weak. Dollar is down about 15% since the beginning of the year. When you say gold selling, Vas, I think gold's being bought at the moment. But if you're talking about that's your prediction, possibly so. You'd need to see what happens really to the dollar. This has really been driven by the dollar weakness and a bit of safe haven. But all the risk currencies, I mean, we talk all the time about correlation. More often in the past than not, when stocks go up, gold goes down. When gold goes down, stocks go up. People move out of the stock market because they want to be more defensive, so they buy gold and gold goes up. But at the moment, gold is hitting all-time highs and stocks are hitting all-time highs. This is not precedented certainly in my 30 years of trading or so. But correlations do shift from time to time. But at the moment, gold is trading higher. And I would I would hazard a guess that if the numbers come in lower than expected, and the revisions are bad, and the unemployment ticks up 4.3 or 4.4%. If you want to know the questions, let me just put them up here, so you've got them there. There they are. Those are the questions, by the way, that you need to enter on that form. So there they are. Yeah. So yes. So basically, these are the reasons I think gold really should tick higher. So at the moment, dollar's been trading lower. The anticipation is that they cut interest rates. If this number comes in lower than expected, 60,000, 50,000, then that is really going to G up the story of a successive interest rate cutting cycle starting from next month. As I say, I'm not thinking we're going to have a 50%. I don't believe we're going to have 50% at all. But the thought will be now that there will be successive cuts over subsequent meetings going forward. And that's just going to help gold. So if the numbers come in lower than expected today, I would expect to see gold push higher. Gold should challenge possibly the highs that we saw there on Tuesday, back up at that level, 3,500 on a weak number. If the numbers come in higher than expected, that basically means anything really above 80, 90, 100,000, and revisions are not as acute, and average earnings comes in higher than expected, then you're likely to see that's inflationary, remember, then you're likely to see the path of interest rate cuts not so aggressively to the downside, in which case you'll see potentially gold trade back down through that support zone at 3,510. Yeah. The closing price of gold predictions on Friday will be announced. Yeah, the competition was on Friday. Every Monday we do this. Guess the gold for the close on Friday, and we announce it the following Monday. So it'll be this Monday coming. So did you have a guess? Vasco FX, did you have a go? Jash Holdings, did you have a? I don't think you've seen there. I don't know why Pakistan's excluded. It's all to do with some body of whatever. I have no idea. I'm not involved in all that, unfortunately. Not really my area. River trading, 25 is expected. We'll be interested to see if it's higher than expected. I think it'll be higher. And I think you'll find that the dollar, which is this green line in here, which has been sold off today. This is the 1 hour chart. Okay, the green line is the greenback. 4 hours is normally quite a good one for sort of longer term trends. So dollar was basically bought up beginning of the week, and since about Tuesday, when gold shot higher, dollar traded weaker. So if the numbers come in weaker than expected, dollar's going to go lower, and dollar's going to trade weaker, and gold's going to trade higher. Pretty much that we've seen all week. Gary Fansom, hello, hi to you. Bond markets are down. Yeah, a lot of talk on the wires about bond markets. Adnan, bond yields are trading much higher. Your guess was 3,350. Oh, right. Okay, what are we? Gold, something like that. Good. Well, good luck. You could be close. What are we? 3,550. That's exactly where we are at the moment. I haven't looked to see how other people are there. Because I know from memory, Vasco, I remember there's a couple of people that are coming in, a couple of pips either side, 3, 4, 4, 8. I remember seeing a couple of those. So you can't change it now. We'll see. I'd be very surprised if we close at 3,550 with a non-farm payroll coming out. I expect to see a bit of a deviation from here. So if we close it now, you'll be doing all right. But unfortunately, we have to go through till another 4 hours or so, 5 hours. So there we have it. Let's just have a quick look then at it is, yeah, big move. Let's have a quick look at I'm gonna have a quick look to see if we've got any answers coming in. We've got quite a few answers coming in. No one fell for my trick question. I'm going to have to come back to these questions. I got one there that I'll tell you something, a bit of a clue. I've got one winner, definitely, that's going into the raffle, into the draw. But we'll see. We had quite a few entries so far. I'll look at those after the announcement. Just on that, we are going to see you're going to hear the numbers coming out over the Squawk, which is live for me. I have to pay for that. But you won't hear it live because of the internet, and depending, of course, on where you are in the world. So if you are thinking you're trading then don't trade on the back of what I say. Have your own news feed. And quite frankly, I don't trade the news anymore anyway. On the fastest fingers first, I think it's a futile. I can tell you where I think the markets should be on the back of what the numbers are. If I knew the numbers now, I can tell you where I think the markets will be. Doesn't mean they're going to be there. I can tell you when I used to work in the trading pits, wearing that was one of my jackets there behind me. We were the fastest fingers first because the price you see on the screen, well, I put them up there. If I bought and sold from the guy beside me and told the price that I traded at, I would tell the inputter and they would put the price in the screen and that would go all around the world. So I was part of that in those days. Not anymore. So the price you see on the screen, it's already happened in the trading pit, as it were. So unfortunately, you can't trade like that anymore. So even if you knew the numbers, would you be able to make money? One thing I used to trade many years ago, before I was even in the public space, I used to have a strategy that basically looked at where the euro dollar was or gold was 30 minutes before the numbers, ignore the numbers completely, and after the numbers, I looked to retrace the target of where the numbers were 30 minutes before. And that's normally where I see the markets going. They always retrace to where the markets were 30 minutes before the announcement at 8 o'clock or something like that. So Adnan's going for 69,000, 7 minutes. We just got about 4 minutes to go now. And then once this is out, we'll spend more time on the charts and look at stuff. For me, I think week numbers. I think gold is a buy. I think gold's had quite a good run at the moment. I think dollar down to the downside is most probably ran its course, and I think the dollar, as we said this week, is most probably going to find a bit of support. If the numbers are strong or in line, I think dollar finds support. I think dollar sort of the route of the dollar to the downside, I think, ends, and I think gold comes back lower if numbers are in line or above. That's my view. So I'll be looking at potentially selling gold if the numbers come in line, but I'll only be using my strategy, of course, which will be either reversal, boomerang reversal, or boomerang trend. Of course, boomerang trend is not going to be selling gold because gold is up. So the boomerang reversal would be in play for gold if it comes in lower than expected. Okay, so we've got about 2.5 minutes before the announcement. This used to be the major event. Used to be the big market mover. I don't know if it is going to be so much now. Let's have a quick look at the euro dollar as our currency to monitor during the there's the roadblock up there at 18. So to get up there, obviously you'd need a really strong number, up at 150. That basically means the dollar is going to be supported. Euro will come down, and you'll see this trade higher. So strong numbers, we'll see prices back up here. Should do anyway, but we'll see. And I'm just going to take it down to the 15-minute chart, because obviously you can see more on a 15-minute chart. Oh gosh, look at that! Have you been following boomerangs? If you're following boomerangs, you've got an entry there. Look at that. High, pulls back. Where's it going to pull back to? That high there. That's your boomerang trade there. 15 minutes. Very simple price action. You've established the trend. You've got another one. Another one here. Pulls back. You would have been offside a little bit, but you wouldn't have got stopped out. You've got 2 trades on there on the boomerang. 15-minute strategy. Right, I'm closing that competition off now. So entries will stop at this time. So that's at 1:29 and 30 seconds. So we're closing that off in a few seconds time. Let me get rid of that. So there we have it. So let's have a look where we're going to go on this one. I'm not going to trade it live. I'm going to wait for the markets to settle down, and I won't be trading on this account anyway. It's TradingView. My account's not on TradingView. There we are. Okay, so just about 15 seconds to go. Tension building. 10 seconds. I go higher.
22k, lower than the forecast.
22k.
Canadian employment change, minus 65.5k, minus 65.5k, lower than the forecast of 5k. US manufacturing payrolls, minus 12.
Wow.
Okay, minus 12.
See, I've got that. So this is absolutely stonking now. The dollar. I haven't looked, but the stock market is going to go ballistic now to the upside.
Canadian dollar down off the week than expected. Canadian employment Canadian unemployment rate 7.1%.
Canadian unemployment rising.
Forecast of 7%.
Yeah.
Private payrolls 38k lower than the forecast of 75k. Participation rate for Canada 65.1%. 65.1%.
So Canada. Wow, that's a big number to the downside. 22k. Oh, Calvin. Good to see you all, Brian. Calvin, you should come into our trading room. Who's the Trump firing next? Exactly. Who's he firing next? That is amazing. Let's have a look at the stock market. Stock markets are going to be absolutely flying. I would have thought.
Non-farm payrolls at 22k compared to 22k, much lower than the forecast of 75k. Prior revised for non-farm payrolls to 79k from the original.
So stock markets are bouncing.
Private payrolls.
Initial reaction was down, but this will mean.
83k. Manufacturing payrolls prior revised.
Is it crashing, Paul?
For the original prior of minus 11k.
Is it crashing? Stock market should be flying. It was a knee-jerk reaction here for some reason. I think they maybe looked at the Canadian number first. But this is a real bad number. This means that the Fed are going to be more aggressive in their rate cutting cycle. If they're more aggressive in their rate cutting cycle, it means that money becomes cheaper. It means investment potential is lower. So you buy stocks. It means companies can borrow more money because the money is cheaper to borrow to invest. Stock markets should fly from here. Treasuries are surging, which basically means the yields are coming lower. This is a 1 minute chart. I'm not trading it, but I'm just saying this is switch disconnected. On. Let's have a look. Gold is flying. Yeah, gold is flying. Is it flying? I haven't seen it actually. Is gold flying? Should be, with rates coming lower. 77. Well, I didn't predict where it was going, but I did say to you what would happen, and what said would happen is happening. So unfortunately, I did see someone at these really high levels. Think gold. Gold is absolutely going mad. We've taken an all-time high in gold. I won't check my funds today, but I think I would have made a few bucks on my funds today. But I don't day trade those. But I'm long gold. I'm long stocks. I'm long Nasdaq. I'm long bonds. So I'm doing all right today on my investments, not on my day trading. Gold ticks all-time high. Are you still trading gold? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We understand that anyone see PCE last week? This time last week, we had PCE coming in at 2.8%. That's inflation at 2.8%. We understand the job markets are really slowing. This is a clear indication that the jobs are slowing. Inflation is still high. I don't know if this is just a big overreaction. Don't trade it short, but if I was looking at, I'd be looking at this zone as what I would call my roadblock resistance. I beg your pardon. Let's just go to the higher time frame. So you've got a roadblock resistance at that level. We had it drawn in. I'd be looking personally now for a potential reversal in here on the lower time frame. So I'll be dragging it down if I'm trading my reversals on the 15-minute, knowing that's a big level. I'd be looking for test of this, another go, and potential reversal. I haven't got the numbers because we haven't done this yet, but that's what I'll be looking for. Tested this level. We have a pullback, maybe. We're having a slight pullback, but a pullback and then another go at that level, and then that would be a break to take it back down to below 5,500. Adnan, 3.6 buy today? Possibly. Stocks are still going. I mean, you can get onto
Germany's 10-year bond yield slightly extends decline.
You get onto other live streams of a non-farm payroll, and they'll be trading away now, in and out, shaking it all about, just gambling. That's not the way you want to be trading. It's a bit of fun, I've got no problems if anyone wants to, put $1,000 in an account and have a bit of fun, risking 0.5% for a bit of fun, but you're not going to give up your day job doing that. If you want to be serious about long-term trading, then you don't want to be gambling over these numbers just on a whim. I think gold's No, I think gold's going to have a pullback. I think the stock market is going to dribble higher, but I think this gold move, I just think the whole gold move in the last month has been it's just been huge, isn't it? One thing you will say is 3,500 now is a support zone. Simple as that. So I'd agree with that. All right, let me have a quick look. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me just have a look at this competition. See if we've got any winners. I'll tell you what, before I do the winners, let me tell you what the answers are. Otherwise, everyone's going to be saying, I got that right, I got it right. And a few of you have got it right, just at a glance. I don't know what that's doing up there. All right, let's have a look then at the answers to the competition. When is the non-farm payroll typically released? I can tell you I've got quite a few answers saying 8:30 New York time. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. It's the first Friday of the month, 8:30 usually. We did have one last couple of months ago. It was on a Thursday. But 8:30 time is obviously whatever. But the first Friday of the month is the answer I was looking for. Got a whole bunch of correct answers for that. June NFP had a huge revision down from 147 to what? The answer is down to 14,000. And I've only got 4 people with that correct answer. Down to 14,000. 5 people, beg your pardon. Oh, I'm now reading it. Six people now, because I can see people who've just done it by ChatGPT because it's coming out. Okay, so let me just get these correct answers in. And I just have to highlight these correct answers. Oh, the last question, I beg your pardon. Last question. If the number comes down below 75,000, as it's done, we can expect to see a 25% rise in interest rates. I was trying to get all you ChatGPTers to use your mind, and I didn't trap too many of you out. The answer, of course, is false. Yep. Low numbers is going to see a potential of a cut in interest rates. So there you have it. So that's taken a couple of you out, I can see. Let me just get behind my screen here to see who these winners are. Okay, I'm just giving these numbers into my back office team, who are going to run it through just putting them in now. Hang on. Okay, we had 5 correct answers. So those 5 have now gone in to my team. And I'll wait for them to give me an answer back on who that winner is. All right. Okay, so just bear with me a moment. We've got another 5 minutes or so. They run it through, well, there's only 5, but they'll run it through a random generator. And we will have the answers. I put down, George, yep, down 14,000. Yeah, I think you were I think your name went into the hat, George. Let me just check. Did I put your name in? George, you put down 147 to 133. George, I think you put it in wrong. Sorry. Don't think so. Not many correct. No, not many correct. Not many correct at all. Let's have another look then at the markets. What's going on? Oh, gold's still flying. Are we going to, someone asked, are we going to hit 3,600? Looks like it, doesn't it? You've taken out when Tuesday's high now. I can tell you now there will be quite a few traders that are doing well on our prop assessments. Some traders that are proper traders that are, that are on running trades, not just in and out. I think if anyone saw my recent webinar, which you can see from the homepage of the website, if you go to this, if you go to our homepage, which is basically there, you can pop in here and basically see this live webinar that I did a few weeks ago. It's recorded. It's basically the secrets behind passing your prop assessment. You can click on there. I encourage you to watch it to the end. It's only about 35 minutes long, 30 minutes long. So don't start it unless you know you can finish it. But go and check that out. It tells you basically the five top characteristics of our winning traders. And I can tell you now that hang on, where's that gone? That the bear with me a second, I've done something wrong there, haven't I? Just bear with me a second. I think I'll find out where we are. Right. Hello. There we go. Okay. So what's going on here? I've done something. Right. I've just got the winners coming in then from the competition. Okay. Here is my winner for this week. I'll put your name on the screen. There's 6 winners, but completely randomly picked. The winner came in for this week, winning a $12,500 assessment account. Is who is that? Kayla L. Kayla L. Congratulations! It's a random draw. It's a random on the winners. Anyways, I'd like to talk about that webinar thing. So on the webinar, basically, the one of the characteristics is, I'll tell you ahead of time, one of the characteristics is those that are not in the trades for less than 30 minutes or less than, it's basically scalping. Our most successful traders are traders that are in the trades for longer. So I can tell you now, we've got traders in there today that are making some decent percentage returns over the last week by following gold higher. They're basically sitting on a nice trend. So that's basically one of the characteristics of our most successful traders. We basically lifted the hood behind what makes a successful trader, and that's basically one of them. So I can tell you now, I don't look at these every day, but I can tell you now that there'll be a few traders that are doing quite well today. We've had some nice trends in this week. So there you have it. All right, well, that's most going to continue. Quick look then at stocks. Stocks are flying now. I would have thought, don't know. Yes, they are. Okay, so that immediate reaction to trade lower. That's not continuing. We're seeing stocks trade higher. I actually have a position in the DAX. I'll look at that later. We've got S&P 500 also hitting all-time highs. The winner is at the bottom of the screen. Shh, there you go. It's randomly selected from all the winners. So how does the winner claim the giveaway? Is that you, Simmer Hill? Are you Kayla? Kayla L? Kayla L is the winner today. Right, folks. Okay, folks. I'm gonna leave that there for now. Hopefully, you had a bit of fun there. Congratulations to our winner, proud owner now of. Am I coming through? Okay. Am I coming through? Okay, still. Well, the winner is Kayla L. Simmer Hill. If that's you, then I'll see. Yeah. Kayla L. Can I'll send it. I'll send an email to that that address. No, actually, if you're the winner, Kayla L., send me an email to education@100 Trading Plus. So there you have it. Gold's flying, stocks are flying. Right, folks. I'll leave that there now. That's 45 minutes. So that's one farm payroll done. Really soft numbers. Last month's numbers was revised up, by the way, slightly by 6,000 from 73,000 up to 79,000. But anyway, I'm pleased to see that we've got people not just using ChatGPT. My trick question there basically was there to weed you out. I'll be back on Monday for the live stream, it's the Gold Week Ahead live stream. So join me 1 o'clock or 8 o'clock New York time on Monday. I'll also announce this week's winner for gold. I don't think we've got many people that are in contention, seeing gold now almost up at those dizzy heights of 3,600. So there you are. Make sure you subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. That way you're notified when, of course, I do go live on Monday. Thanks indeed for tuning in. Have a good weekend all, and we'll see you Monday. Cheerio.